Shalom, this is the brother Tazawak Gul from GMS Germany with another lesson. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone told us the truth. Peace and blessings, it's like a peace and blessings, salutations to the elect out there who spread this truth and sincerity and all charity across the four winds. So back with another lesson with the title, The Whore is Poking the Bear. Okay. And as you see the title or the news article right in front of you says Putin announces response to Finland joining NATO. Okay. It says Helsinki. So that's already the headline is already enough. Okay. Because Russia, Vladimir Putin is responding to the current situation of Finland trying to join NATO, and it's really on the verge of it. Let me just double check because it said nothing in the news that I was looking at. Just let me check. Is Finland in the EU? See, it says it's part of the. Let me check something. So like, maybe just give me 1 second, cause I want to keep it actually just in this article. So like, yeah, I just had to slip off the mind, man. Let me just say it like that. I mixed up the NATO and the EU. I was just instead of saying NATO, I said EU the whole time. Also in the article when I was reading it. So let me just go back and read the title again. It says Putin announces response to Finland joining NATO, not the EU. It's a part of the EU, of the the trading unit, but now it want to get the part, or is a part of the military unit, basically. You understand? So the point is that it says here Finland has been a member of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, since April 4th April 2023. So like since the middle of this year, nearly the middle of this year, early beginning of this year, Finland is an established part of the NATO, right? Okay. So the point of the matter is that they now want to establish a stronger force in Finland. The NATO is doing that. So bringing troops there, bringing arms there, so on and so forth. So this is a direct threat to Russia because if you go to a map, just a world map. Just give me a second. Let's just go here and see if we perfect. See, you already see it. So like here in the north, we have Finland, right here in the green, and here in the pinkish color you got Russia. You understand? So if the NATO now, that's why Ukraine is also such an important country for the NATO and the EU, which is run by the whore, which is America. And the bear is Russia. So what you see here in Ukraine is right at the border of Russia, Finland, right at the border of Russia. And the first point was just the EU. Like I said, it was just about trading. It's like the EU. Let me just search. What is the? Give me 1 second. See, the aims of the European Union within the borders are promote peace, its values, and well-being of its citizens, offer freedom, security, and justice without eternal borders, while also taking appropriate measures at its external borders to regulate asylum immigration, and prevent and combat crime. So the point is, it's not really about the war. Okay, it's more about establishing a good economy, European Union. Okay, promote peace, um, and the well-being of the citizens. So they want to actually establish all the countries that are in the EU, right? They want to establish them. What is the main goal of the NATO? Let's look that up. Yeah, see, that's the point. That's the difference. So first, let's read that. It says NATO's fundamental goal is to safeguard the Allies' freedom and security by political and military means. See, so that's the difference. Because here you had promote peace, its values, and the well-being of its citizens, right? So keep the state of the citizens up, that they're gonna have peace. That's why they have no borders basically between the EU countries. That's why shipments get from A to B without problems. That's why you can order stuff from Netherlands to Germany without any issues. You understand? For example, I work in a company where sometimes where people also import goods right from different countries, and this year in Germany they made a strict harsh law that you can't not import metals from Russia. If you do that, you can get up to jail time, or have up to so like you can get up to jail time or a 500,000 euro fine, man. And we even had a case in my company where um there was a document missing, and the female pressed on the button to send it to the government to check it, to customs clear it. And what happened? She had to run to the customs office herself, called for 3 days that the shipment gonna be stopped, because either she gonna be blamed and you're gonna suffer for it individually, not your company. You individually gonna be held accountable because you pressed that button to support Russia. Basically, this is what they're saying. But the point of the matter is that the EU is there to promote peace, the values of the well-being of the citizens, offer freedom, security, justice without internal borders, right? That's the point, without internal borders, you know, and also regulate the external borders, you know. But the point of the NATO is, this is why now it is such a big problem for Russia. The main point of the NATO is, NATO's fundamental goal is to safeguard the Allies' freedom and security by political and military means. That's the point, okay? The military means. That's the actual definition. Let's look it up here. Okay. Military says mid 15th century military, pertaining to or befitting soldiers, used, done, or brought about by soldiers. Okay, it says a directive from Latin militaris, of soldiers or war, or of military service. So it goes just into military service, soldier. Okay, let's look down. Let me look up, or let me etymology befitting. They're basically becoming soldiers, pertaining to or becoming soldiers. That's what the military means. So it forms into a soldier. Nevertheless, the point of this matter is that now it is a problem for Russia. That's why I entitled the video, "The Whore is poking the bear." Why? Because you see, now NATO allowed, where's the article? So like, oh yeah, NATO allowed Finland to join. So now, like we here have here on the map, Finland is on the direct border of Russia. So now America, which is the head of NATO in the EU, or is in of NATO, but it's also pulling the strings in the EU, because um when America says go to the left, they all go to the left. For example, Germany said they want to have the Nord Stream 2. America said no. Germany bent the knee. And on top of that, they also sabotaged it. Okay, now the point is that now in Finland, America can storage what? Troops, weaponry, missiles, the nuclear missiles, whatever it wants. It can store them there. Like in Germany. Here in Germany, where we live, the GMS Germany camp, they have what? They have awesome missiles here. Because I remember I was talking to one guy from the, and of course it's also public knowledge, but I was talking to one guy from the military here, which is called in Germany the Bundeswehr, okay, the German military, and he told me that he wanted to change his position to guarding the nuclear missiles here in Germany for from America because he's gonna get more money. You know, his salary gonna double or something for their service. So it shows you the importance of it. But nevertheless, the point of the matter is that the NATO is establishing their allies around Russia. Okay, where it can, of course, because you know, shit, Kazakhstan. Let me just zoom out a bit. You know, Mongolia, North Korea, and China ain't gonna be really a part of that. South Korea is a part of, and Japan is also ally of America, and that's what you see right there. Let me just here. See, they're also in the near of Russia, so it's really a battle of the what is it called? The geological positioning of the allies. You know, because if, for example, the NATO would get Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Belarus, Ukraine, which are on, Azerbaijan, you understand, Kazakhstan. And the thing is, Azerbaijan, for example, is also in war with Armenia. And Armenia is backed by the Russians and Azerbaijan by Turkey. So this is like the thing. Turkey is playing like with the NATO and with Russia. Nevertheless, if we get these territories, Russia would have a big problem. So Russia is going against it. This is why they're outraged about Finland. So let's go back finally to the article I was talking about Slovakia. Or matter of fact, let's pull a few scriptures because they keep a scripture right. Let me just pull that real quick. This is Book of Revelation, chapter 17, and verse 1. It says, um, yeah, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And the great whore is America, because of many waters. When we jump down to verse 15, it says, And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations of tongues. See, so the waters represents people. So America is sitting upon the waters, which represents sitting, ruling and sitting upon the people. And when we jump down to verse 5, I know, let's keep on reading verse 2. Revelation 17:2 says, With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, which they did because they followed America's doctrine, they followed America's philosophy, okay, their ideology. This is what the whole world is actually following. Russia is going a little bit against it, but they have the same system, okay. And you see the perverseness that America is pushing upon the whole world, and everybody's following it. Basically, Russia is going a little bit against it. You see it with the LGBTQI thing, but other than that, they are nearly on the same page. But Russia is really against America because having Father Stern, Gog and Magog up against the beast and the whore, okay, or the whore and beast, because Gog and Magog represents the Russian. Why? Because they're in the land of Magog, because the people of Gog were the Japhites, but they were in the land of Magog. So the Russians are dwelling in the land of Magog right now. Okay, they're dwelling there right now because Gog in Ezekiel 38 represents the people and Magog is the land. So the land of Magog right now. This is why it speaks about it, what we're going to read later in Revelation chapter 20 about Gog and Magog preparing themselves for battle. So it says, Revelation 17:2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. See that? So the earth was made drunk with the wine of her fornication. That's what happened. Okay? This is what literally happened. They were made drunk with the wine of her fornication by Yahweh Shem Shai. Why? Because Heavenly Father ultimately used and allowed it to happen. Okay? So it says verse 3, so he carried me away. So like you saw the kings that joined under the whore were drunk by their philosophies, by her philosophies, by her ideology. And this is why they're all following in her. Like, really, America has a big leash around the beast, sitting on the back of it, which represents the rulership of it. You know? It says verse 3, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman to sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and the 7 heads and 10 horns, the beast, represents NATO in the EU, which America is ruling over. Because when you sit sit on something, right? When you ride a horse, for example, in cartoons, you would ride a lion. I saw some cartoons where a guy was riding a lion. They was best friends or whatever, but nevertheless, or other animal. When you sit on his back, it represents you got the power over it. Okay, especially you see it with a horse with the bridle in his mouth, and you sit on the back. If you say you go to the right, has to go to the right. If you go to the left, it has to go to the left. Okay, and that's really what you see. So America is that whore that sitteth upon the beast and ruleth the beast, which is NATO in the EU. So when you drop down to verse 18, it says, and the woman which thou sawest is the great city. What is the great city? America. Okay, which reigneth over the kings of the earth, like the golden city. Okay, this is how America is known, as the beautiful golden city, as a beautiful whore. Okay, and that's the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And when you jump up again, to Revelation 17:4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, so decked out in royalty basically, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of a fornication. See, and this is really what America is pouring out with that wine, with a philosophy, with a doctrine upon the whole earth. That filth is pouring out abomination. The people drink it and they perform abominations. Okay? They perform the same bullshit that's going on in America. Maybe not to the same extent, but to a certain level. Okay? So that's really what's going on. So you have Russia, which is a bear, like you can read in Revelation chapter 13. Okay, verse 2. It's talking about the bear. And we all know that what is not Russia known for as a bear, man? The brown, big black bear or the brown bear? Okay, when we jump down again to Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. Okay, it says, and the 10 horns which are sores upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat their flesh and burn her with fire. Yeah, because the 10 horns are like the 10 feet, the 10 toes in Daniel chapter 2. Okay, they are the strong nations, the stronger nations, basically, you know, because without the toes you can stand. And the horn, when you go into the word horn in the Hebrew, means Quran, which means power. Okay, that's what it is. Because when you think about the rhinoceros, right, what is his power? His horn. His horn is his power, because that's his weapon. So that's the same thing there. So if you keep on reading, or let me just break down the rest of the verse. It says, so the 10 horns, the strong nation shall hate the horn. That's what you see. For example, one of them is France. One of them is France, man. France said a while ago they should actually separate from America and do their own thing. This is what he said about Europe. Okay, so they rebelled already against the whore. And this way you also had the BRICS. So like not the BRICS, the Brexit. That's why England, which has the big pride, which is because it's the mother of America. Because when you think about it, actually, it comes from America. From America stems out of Britain, man. You know, because the people of America were not just Americans, that came out of the Europe, and also predominantly of England, man. You know, the settlers went there and then they established America, wiped out the Israelites, the Gadites and the Reubenites, and the other tribes that were there, but mainly them. And then they established their rule there. And it was all done to the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to establish America and to let prophecy come to pass, basically. Okay, this is where these atrocities and this genocide happened there, to fulfill his word and to also punish the Israelites for their rebellion and their worship of the false gods. Okay, so it says they're gonna eat their flesh and burn it with fire, make it desolate and naked, right? So what does it represent? That they're gonna turn against America and destroy America, be part of the destruction. Okay, so they're gonna also shoot the countries with capable with nuclear capability, which are the nuclear missiles. They're gonna shoot against America. They're gonna fire against her, gonna try to destroy her. Okay, and the point is verse 17. For the Most High has put in the hearts to fulfill His will and to agree and to give the kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And that's the whole point. Okay, because this is what these nations are doing. That's why Finland and other, let me go back to the map. That's why Finland, Poland, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, all these countries gave their power unto America by joining what? The NATO and the EU, or the EU, one of these two. Okay, because when you join that, you basically are under the thumb of America. You're under their power. And what you have to understand is that to the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that there's always a ruler. Okay, there's always one nation or one person, one entity, one individual to guide a group. There's always one. And in the fact of NATO and the EU, it is America. Then you have the counterpart, the BRICS, which is Russia. You know, with a little bit of China, but ultimately it's Russia. And the BRICS are the nations of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. But let's go real quick to this article. It says Helsinki has not had any trouble with Moscow for years, but now it will, the Russian president has said. See, now it will. What does this mean? We're gonna go to war, basically. Russia will create a new military district to reinforce its positions near Finland in response to the latter's decision to join NATO. Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced. Okay, see, so they wanna. This is why I said this is the main difference between the EU and the NATO, the military part. Because when Russia heard that, the whole time when it said Finland is in the EU since 1995, no problem. Because when we go back here, let me go back. It says Finland joined the European Union in 1995 and was one of the first countries to adopt the euro on January 1st, 1999. See that? So that's the thing. So the whole time was no problem. It was a little bit of scuffles and stuff like that. But as soon as the word NATO was dropped, because it's the what? Let's go back. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So when this was dropped, Russia was like, oh, they want to come with the military now. Because, of course, when you think about it, right, when you're in the EU, you have the borders are basically blurred, right? The borders are not there no more. They are there, but for trade, they are not there. And for traveling, neither. So we could just go to Finland. In Germany, for example, with German passport, we can go to Finland. For example, Holland, France, whatever, Spain. We don't need really any paperwork. Don't have to ask for a visa, nothing. I could just stay there, live there, work there, everything. Right? Okay, cool. But now with the NATO, the military is also allowed to move. Like that. They're allowed to do, they have certain other allowances that EU members only have. You understand? This is the point that I'm trying to make. So there are differences between the membership of the EU and this membership of the NATO. I don't know the specifics, but you know there are differences. Either they would not have these two organizations, because the one is the economic bloc, basically. The one is the military bloc. Okay, so it says Putin made the remarks in an interview with Russian journalist Pavel Zarubin, Zarubin that aired on Sunday, stating that Helsinki has not had any real trouble with Moscow for decades already, but now it will. That's a direct threat. That's like, hey, Finland, Helsinki, make yourself ready. They took the and dragged Finland into NATO. Seht ihr das? That's like I was speaking German. Do you see that? Did we have any disputes with Finland? No. All disputes, including those of a territorial nature in the mid 20th century, have long been resolved. See, there was peace between Finland and Russia, but not, America was like, nah, we gonna grab Finland, and the Heavenly Father allowed it. Putin stated, nothing that Russia does not actually have the territorial disputes with any NATO member state. It says to counter the expansion of the US-led bloc. See, they even say it there. Russia is set to create the brand new Leningrad military district, as the name would indicate. The new force will be stationed in Leningrad region, in the northwestern part of the country, where the city of St. Petersburg, known as Leningrad during the Soviet Union, is located. It says here, this is what Putin said, there was no trouble. Now there will be, that's a direct war declaration. There are going to be some problems. Now, there was some problems, but now they're going to be problems because America going to put their military there. NATO going to put their military there. It can be from different countries, okay? The peacemakers or whatever. Weaponry, everything going to be there. We will now create the Leningrad military district and concentrate certain military units there. Why do they need this? It's just nonsense. It is no nonsense. It is prophecy. And prophecy is inevitable. You can't stop prophecy. Prior to Finland's decision to join NATO, the two countries enjoyed the most cordial relationship. Putin added, the only minor trouble Moscow and Helsinki had was business disputes revolving around the timber processing industry, the president noted. Finland announced its decision to join NATO months after conflict between Ukraine and Russia erupted in February 2022. In April of this year, the country became a full-fledged member of the US-led bloc. Moscow repeatedly said that Finland's decision was wrong, given the fact that the neighboring countries had not had unresolved bilateral issues. Last week, Helsinki announced plans to sign a defense cooperation agreement, DCA, with the US. See, you have it there already. It's right there. It's right there. Allowing Washington to station troops. Hey, that's the spirit, man. Because I just read the beginning of the article. I was like, let me just read the article to the door of the lesson. Moving the spirit. There you have it. You know? I said that, like I said already, that's the spirit, because like I said, I didn't read it. But I mentioned it already. Allowing Washington to station troops and stockpile weapons and ammunition in the country. And this is what Russia doesn't want. It doesn't want a military stronghold of America right at its border, right there in Finland. It doesn't want that. Okay? That's why they also fight against Ukraine, because Ukraine want to be backed also by America, but Russia said, no, that's too much, man, because that's literally a part of us. Okay? It says, the Finnish foreign minister said Helsinki will open 15 zones across the country in which Washington will be provided with unimpeded access and use. Oh, yo, 15, wait, it said 15 zones. Shit, that's a lot, man. Let's just look up this word real quick. It says, unimpeded base unhindered. But let's look up the hidden atom online. It says on is not, and let's look up impeded, right? It says hindered, unhindered basically. Okay, that's really what it means. So they're gonna be unhindered in that America can run loose and do what they want. They can put missiles there in these 15 zones. They can put the whole military there if they want, the border. So this is the direct declaration of war, and this is why I titled the video, "The whore is poking the bear." You know, that's really what's going on. Basically, World War III. The whore is poking the bear. World War III. Double point. World War III. WW3. That's what it is, man. That's where it's leading towards. Okay. So now, another scripture that I wanted to read. Yeah. In the book of Revelation. In the book of Revelation, chapter 20, and then we're going to close out this lesson. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 7. And when 1,000 years are expired, which talking about the dark ages, before the 1,000 years before the Renaissance, basically, because the dark ages was the time where there's no really historical facts. That's what my English teacher in high school told me. You know, the highest form of school in Germany, because it's a little bit different than high school, but in worldly terms, in high school basically. Nevertheless, he said there's no historical facts. That's why it's called the Dark Ages. No, it's called the Dark Ages because Europe was ruled by the so-called Negroes for 1,000 years, okay, by the Moors, which were Israelites. It says so now, and this means when the Israelites was ruling, the Edomites were in subjection, like in the time of King David, so they were under them. So it says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. So after the 1,000 years, and then the Renaissance started. Okay, being back. Okay, meaning being back. So this is what it is, the Renaissance, when Esau came back into power. Okay. So that happened after 1,000 years, and Satan got loosed out of his prison, which the prison was Europe, basically. You know, the bottomless pit, which where he was packed in for 1,000 years. And then he was loosened up by the Heavenly Father. Okay, it says verse 8, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are on the four quarters of the earth. And he started right from the beginning. Changed the icons, iconoclasm, destroying the images of the dark-skinned people. You know, where it shows that the dark-skinned people was ruling Europe. Changed the language, so on and so forth. Because, for example, the letter J is a Renaissance letter. Okay, so they deceived the nations. They deceived the history. They deceived the nations with the history, brought a false history, and so on and so forth. Made everything about the Romans and the Greeks. Made people believe these are the only two nations that existed. You know, it says Gog and Magog. Let me read it again, verse 8. And shall go out to deceive the nations, which are on the four quarters of the earth. Gog and Magog, which are the Russians, like I explained before. Gog are the people, Magog is the land, to gather them together to battle. See? To gather them together to battle. And this is what you're seeing right now. Both sides are getting ready for the final battle. The final round. Gog and Magog, so Russia and their allies, which you see right now, the BRICS, and they're expanding, and they're getting more and more. And then you have NATO and their allies. NATO and the EU, or America and their allies, which are NATO and the EU. NATO and the EU, Slovakia, to gather them together to battle. The number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Okay? And that's really what it is, man. That's really what it is. It says, and they went up from the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about and the beloved city, and fire came down from the Most High out of heaven and devoured them. But the point was verse 8. Okay? Because I just wanted to read verse 9, but the point is actually verse 7, verse 8. So that's really what it is, man. Okay? Yeah. When you think about it, yeah, they're gonna come up against the Israelites, because like it says also in 2 Ezra, the 13th chapter, first they're gonna fight against each other, and then they're gonna turn against the Lord. And it says, verse 10, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone. Yeah, because America going to be destroyed in the lake of fire, which is going to be the nuclear missiles, when they hit America and also Israel, where the beast and the false prophets, which is the Catholic Church, shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So this is really what's going on, man. America going to be destroyed, and along with that, Israel, man. And they're going to be burning for a long period of time, man. Okay, so that's really what it is, man. So with that, I pray and hope this lesson was edifying for the elect. In order to give once again all praises, glory, and the highest honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the millstone, who taught us the truth, peace, and salutations to the elect out there, who spread this truth and sincerity, and with charity across the four winds and the cove. And of course, also blessings unto them. Until next time, say Shalom, wa barakatam, wa ba.